Okay, so let's start creating the walls. For example, we launch the most important function that we will use. So first we define where we are, floor 00, which room, so we can see it from here or from here, from the cutting plane. So we see that we see the cut at a level of 120. We can close this, and for example, in some cases, I'm going to show you different options how to create the elements. Let's start with an easy one. So we say this is indeed the kitchen. So we start with room ID 1, for example, and this is optional. So we leave it for the moment. And we have two options. Either we work with Ortho project, which means we pick 1 point per wall and close, and we will create orthogonal walls, or we work free, which is 2 points per wall. So you see it here. So the Ortho project would be like this. So we pick 1 point, second point, third point, fourth point, and close. Or free, we pick 2 points per wall. Or if you are not so sure if it's orthogonal or not, you can use always this function. But we can also use the ortho function defining the orientation of our building. So we would pick first the project orientation, or the room orientation, or the building orientation. So just 2 points along the facade, if possible. And then from here we could use the ortho function, but just picking 1 point per wall. So let's see how it works. So first, if we need the floor level and the ceiling level, and if we want to insert it or not, there are different ways to pick that. So one that I would recommend is using this. So see all, see inside. So we could pick see inside. We pick the floor. Then it automatically moves to the ceiling. So we just activate all. We pick the ceiling. So we see the room height here. And if we want to insert the C or not. And then we would just start drawing the walls. The kitchen is just a rectangle. This is the fridge here. So just to show you, I just pick from this zoom. You can obviously zoom in and then pick the point that you want to decide. But I just show it to you like this. So I'm putting it here. So it's a bit bigger, so you can see it much better. So I pick the first wall, the second wall, the third wall, and the fourth, and close. So we see that the room has been closed, the room stem has been added the way I want it, kitchen, the ID, the perimeter, the area, the room height, etc. And also the ceiling level and floor level had been added here as I wanted. And then I could continue drawing different elements. So this would be the first option. You can also pick from the cutting plane view if you prefer, because the cut is a bit more clean. So in this way, we see, for example, here we are going to draw the living room. So we pick again the floor, the ceiling. Another way to pick this is from the vertical plane. So for example, if we change here to longitudinal, we see here we can also even put the filter ground floor, so we only see these elements. So, and I could pick the ceiling, the floor and ceiling also from here, from the corresponding room. Or a third option, if we want to work with station views, I can open whatever station viewer I want, and then I change. Well, in our case, we are almost there, but if we want to go exactly into the room, we have added here this view. So we could go here and say, I want to use, for example, 12, and then I move to the station view and say show, so it automatically goes to the corresponding station view. So I'm inside the living room, and now from here I could pick the floor and the ceiling, and then I could either pick the points from here from the 0, 0 as I wanted to do. So I go to here and say this is my first point, my second point. You see on the left side how the points are, and then I continue here and here, and then I close. Last point and close. So we have the next room, the living room, and we could also use, for example, for this room, for example for this one, we could also do it from here, from the station view. So we are not there, not in the room yet, so we can move it. So from here, so we see that we are also creating 3D elements, and I can change here from ground floor to my filter, for example, and I don't want to see in my filter all these elements, so I only see the point cloud. So I could move first the station to here, to inside the room, and then I activate this and show, so it moves automatically to there, and then I could say this is whatever room it is, sales, whatever, and then we pick the floor, we pick the ceiling, and then we know that the first direction, the 0 direction, the 0 bearing is this one, so we would say, we would pick here like the Scan Explorer, if you know this. We pick there, we rotate, pick there, rotate, pick there, if we do a mistake, just undo until the beginning, like this, and then new wall, and then we start. This will be the first, the second, third, fourth, and close. Although you see that the line is going in this direction, it doesn't matter because the server works with endless lines. So close, and we have the room there. We will do later on the free one, but let's finish here the floor, the corridor. So I can move to here and say the corridor. So we are able to create a couple of doors as well. So we pick here the floor, we activate all, we pick the ceiling, and then from now I change to this, for example, and for example I don't need this for the moment, and then we just start drawing this. As I said, for the moment it's not so important that you pick exactly the point of the wall, just to get used to use the functions. So, and we last point and we close. So we have now here the options to create the door and the window. And something that I would also like to show you is how we work with the ortho function, but with a rotated building, like for example in this case. So we go to wall, and then instead of picking ortho, because if we pick ortho we will work this way. Sorry, 0. So we work this way. So we can change it to this orientation. So we pick P1. This for the whole building or for a part of the building. I will show you right now an example. And now you see here the bearing, and from now I can pick wherever I pick, and I work with ortho, but related to this P1 and P2 that are currently active there. So I could continue here with my with the next room, etc., and so on. And if I want to come back to the other orientation, either I pick 2 points here, or I just say, if I know that it's 0, I pick 0, and then I can continue with the new orientation. So, for example, in this project here, where we have some rotated elements, so we could use this function to create this, to pick the facade P1 and P2, and then just pick 1 point, as you see here, for each wall. So we can create all this with the ortho function very quickly.